Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountains. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Check. Check out. Hot, hot. 58 to Mike, 58.
24 down, coming.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Time to feature the offensive starters and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
Rap. Watch the safety creep.
I 31.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Set. 19.
Run the mic. Watch one.
All day, dog. Hey, pick
Watson off play action. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 82 yards.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't guard the pass at all. I mean, they're next to last in the league. Let's throw it on every down.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against 2nd to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. On 1st down. Carson, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
On second down, it's Carson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Alert! So Mike number one. Get the ball. Here we go.
Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Here we go. Black 80! 56. Hey, let's get that ball, Key. Let's get that ball. Shit. Get hot.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Here we go. Like 20. Get hot. Go. Check it.
They'll run with Clement. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3.
Good job.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. One more time with Clement. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's third and goal.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Paul Richardson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do now. The key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. An update now from out in Southern California. Chargers have jumped out to an early lead over the Raiders. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Carson. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll try the left side. Carson, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. 3rd and long. It's Watson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Faking the give. Now Watson to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 58 Mike. 24 down. He's coming.
Watson looks to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was looking for a Nunwa there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Let's get off the field.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. The 40. The 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Juju Smith-Schuster, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
That's it, baby.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. At his current pace, sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season. But some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Corey Littleton coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Watson, he's got the hook up to Lee. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that, that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Parker the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Anthony Ford! Select the reward. Let's go!
Watson off the play fake. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo now. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Garoppolo. And Jones has it over the middle. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Broncos push further out in front. It was 3rd and medium. They popped the short pass, looking to pick up the first, accomplish that mission, and then they accomplished a lot more on that mission all the way for the score.
Let me focus in on one word you used, pop, right? They popped the short pass, and then what happened after that? They popped the big run. Because now, once he caught it, didn't have anyone else in the vicinity to bring him down, and he takes off, and he kept going. Nice gutsy call, even better execution.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 2nd and 12, Watson, and his throw here's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there, creeping up on 1,000. Could get there on this drive, so a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat-and-mouse game. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. They run again with Carson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Chris Carson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Boswell good with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
36, 36.
They run on first down with Jackson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
That's got to be a long day. Tight go.
Watson off play action. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Chris Carson with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Boswell for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high-percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Play action. Garoppolo. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook. And that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run with Miller. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they forced the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've seen what was a comfortable 21-0 lead go completely by the wayside. Now 21 all as they take over 1st and 10. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
After the penalty, it's Miller. The tackle made by Ken Crawley.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo finding pass complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Miller. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, James. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Day's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So Deshaun Watson in the offense. Down 24-21, 2:01 remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. On first down, Carson. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Watson. And he's got a new one. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe. And now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. They go back to the ground, this time Clement. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Here we go.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Here's Matt Weil now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
That's it, baby. We go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
One last throw here for Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it because we were waiting to see what would happen. Obviously, we thought something would happen downfield. Instead, it happens in the offensive backfield, and that's your ball game.
So for the Broncos, the win moves them to 3-9 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.